Hello everyone. So in this video we will see how we retrieve data through solr-query in HotWax Commerce apps. Solr-query is an API which takes query in payload, searches the Solr index and returns a JSON response. The response consists of a result list along with facets. Facets are optional in this. Solr works by gathering, storing, and indexing documents from different sources and making them searchable in near real time. It follows a three-step process that involves indexing, querying, and finally ranking the results, all in near real time, even though it works with huge volumes of data. We are having a URL over here. So what I will be doing first is I will test this URL in Postman. So just copy this URL and I will go to Postman. Here in my workspace I will add, and we are using the post request. So I will just paste my URL over here. Now firstly we have to authorize the user, so I will be doing it by this. We have the username over here and password over here, and I have selected basic auth as the type. Now the body will contain the data which we are sending as payload. So I am selecting raw here and I am sending a JSON data over here. So I will be pasting my JSON data in this text area. So just navigate towards the payload over here, and I want to paste this data into my Postman test area. So I will copy this object, will go over here and will paste this. As it is a JSON file, we will be writing JSON like this. So this is the JSON data that I am sending as payload. Here we are giving some parameters, query and filter, and the data of facet that we want to create facet of, that we want to be faceted. So as I will run this, we are getting this response. Now if we want only order name or order ID to be displayed over here, what we will do is we will specify the field list over here like this. So I want order ID. What I will do, I will just send it again, and we will get only order ID. Query here is for search and filter is to get the filtered data. I will just remove this and I will be filtering data by using the order ID now. So how we can do this? I will simply go over here, will write the AND operator, and I want the data of order ID this. Now we will get all the products of order ID NN13571. This is how we can filter data from this API. So basically this is the basic usage of solr-query and how we can display a few fields or display some filtered data by manipulating the solr-query. Now I will be focusing towards how we can retrieve this data in our HotWax Commerce app. So I will be focusing on two cases. The first one will be using a solr helper file, and second one will be providing the query directly in a view file. So what will I do? This is my HotWax Commerce app. Now this is the action find orders through which data is displaying on this page. Here we can see the structure. I have created a find orders action over here. Inside that we are calling this prepare order query from solr helper file, and inside that we have created the whole payload that we are sending. We have passed certain parameters to the method for which it prepares the required solr query. So we can see that we are having facets, query, filter and params over here, and we are getting, in response we are getting some grouped and faceted data. See. So first of all we will see what are facet, query and filter over here. So filters are basically to apply some filter conditions. If we want our data to be displayed after filtering out, after going through some conditions and filtering out, then we will be providing that conditions over here, and the data will be after getting filtered. Query, here the query is giving this parameter. So what's happening here is that we are using solr query parameter query, and with a special syntax that requests all the documents in the index. It means all the key, any of key and value in the map. So if I want that data should be searched on the basis of order ID or any specific ID, then I can pass over here. Now this facet. So faceting allows the search results to be arranged into subsets or buckets or categories, providing a count for each subset. So as we can see that we have created two facets, one of order status ID facet and the second one is shipment method type ID facet. So here we can see we have some count over here. So it has created two categories, one of order status ID and second one is of shipment method ID. So after this we are getting another data that is in grouped. So result grouping groups documents together with a common property and places these documents under a group. Here in code we can see that we have passed order ID, and here we have grouped using order ID property, so it allows you to group search result by specific property. Here we have passed order ID, so it will group our data according to order ID. This is one example where we have used the solr helper file. Now in second example, we have directly created the query in this view file. This is a receiving app, and this is the payload that we are sending here. It seems to be similar with another app, but the difference is that in this app we have created a solr helper, that is we have managed the query outside the view file, and in that we have managed the query inside the view file. So we have created this payload over here, or the query over here, and provided the payload for our solr-query API. So we have focused three things in this video. The first one is what is solr-query and how we can manipulate the solr-query data according to our need, or what filters we want and how we want our search to work. Then the third case which we have focused is how we can manage this solr-query through a solr helper file, and lastly how we can provide the query from a view file directly. So hope you like this video, and thank you so much for watching this video.